So many of us are fortunate to have the selection opportunity of our own research topic of interest. But many may not have that opportunity to select what our research interest is. So here, wherever we are, we have two options. With this basic insight of the basic knowledge, we can either think on the translational side or think on the basic side. Okay. So in basic sides, if you think of basic research, we think what is going to happen. So we will find something very interesting, some gaps between the existing knowledge. We will try to search what are the relevant publications, for example, XYZ parameter analysis of a cancer or a drug development or a tissue engineering sort of thing. So we will try to bridge that gap, whatever existing in our community or in our scientific society. We try to review all these articles starting from 1901 to latest 2018. Then we will do sort of experimental parameters. We will do hypothesis, we will draft hypothesis, do the experiment, and come out with a small piece of knowledge that which can fill only a particular sort of gap. Okay, that discovery is very important, basic research is very important, but a huge population country like India can no longer retain in the basic research. We have to move to a advanced or applied research where there is a lot of problem in the society that we researchers has to be solved. So as a result of this basic research, you may get a high impact factor publication, and it will lie in the shelves of many people, and somebody will, some new generation will, who are interested in the basic research will review your literature, and so on and so forth. So now it is the time to just think of burning problems in our society. So we have to think a little bit in a different angle. Whenever you are having an opportunity to do some sort of basic research or some sort of research, you can think of, if I do this sort of research, and who is going to get benefited? Is this problem is a burning sort of problem for Indian community? So you have to think in at least a national aspect, so that something may come out from your research, something translational may come out from research, so that it may get benefit for the problems or the people affected from that problems. Okay, so here the basic research is ending with one discovery, that if it is very high end discovery, then you may get a chance of Nobel. But whenever your applied research is coming out with some sort of product which can going to help numerous people in our Indian population. So in applied research, the research methodology is a little bit different. So we are focusing on the problems currently existing in our population or in our community, or we are just predicting in 2035, 2040, 2050, this is going to happen. And this is the way I am going to move ahead to develop a product, a process, or a service to my society. For example, you know, the cancer, diabetes, these all are the burning problems currently still existing here. And we have to develop, we have to do so many things with our translation research. Here, instead of the research topic, we have to focus on a particular problem. And instead of literature, we have to review the market. Market in the sense of what all are the current drugs available in the market. So what all are its drawback? Where is the actual gap existing? What I can do with my knowledge to develop as a drug, a therapy, a know-how, a product, a process, or a service. So that way you have to, if your focus is changed a little bit, it can do enormous wonder in our community. Then draft a hypothesis accordingly, experiment you can do, and after your result analysis, you may come out with wonderful things like patent, technology, IPRs. So this is innovation and inventions which is going to change your community. So instead of thinking of this basic research, always think of applied research wherever you are having a possibility. So again, this innovation, if we say everything that you just understand, for example, there are so many things existing currently. Okay, so for example, if you think of a drug, for example, if you say a cancer, a drug development for the cancer. So there are so many things existing in the community currently. So our aim is to think in a different angle so that the existing science, existing things can be changed in a new stream. In discovery, we are creating the new things. Invention, we are developing a new devices or a new system. In invention, we are just existing system. We are changing its application in new level. That is thinking or doing things in a different angle or a better angle. So with your research, you can do wonders in product innovation, process innovation, service innovation. In the product innovations, you can just innovate the things in a new way so that the new applications can be developed. In a process innovation, for example, if you are doing a diagnostics set of things with your innovation, you can develop a new process and service in the case of your offering of in the service in a different angle. Then technological innovations also you can done with your with a lot of things. Then social innovations also can. Social is mainly focusing on the societal activities. So as a researcher, if we do something, what society will accept? So there are different models of innovations in this. Disruptive is one of the most important innovations which the society were most commonly used to accept. So whenever you develop a new technology in an existing market, for example, cancer drug, this sales is one of the, cancer drug is one of the good market, and if you develop a new technology in that one, then you are going to disrupt that existing market and you are entering into a new thing. So this talk is a little bit of science, this is a little bit of innovation, a little bit of business. So this is a mixed sort of thing. So entrepreneurship is a person who is starting a small venture and generating its own revenue. So it may be scientific, it may be non-scientific, and everything is a little bit leading with the business. So what is in entrepreneurship? It is nothing. Some business idea you have to develop. You have to develop that concept in a solid platform. You have to develop in a physical state. Like, for example, if you think of starting one tea shop. So idea or concept is making a tea shop, offering a good branded tea. Okay, the concept, once we clear, then we come to existing into legal startup procedure means we started a legal setup like we are registering in the municipality, panchayat or a town, a corporation, and we started one small roofed shop and we started the inventory. The development phase is the number of customers will walk in and we serve our service or our offering and we generate revenue and we expand into branches or franchises. So in scientific, so when we have some sort of basic research knowledge, okay, with that basic research knowledge and we are focusing some sort of problems in the society and we are filling that with a translational or applied research, we come to develop with some sort of product, process or services and which we are offering to the community. This is our offering. This is my product for cancer detection. This is my product for cancer diagnosis. This is my product for diabetics detection, diabetics therapy, or XYZ problems in the society. So we develop some sort of things and offering that to the society. So if we think of scientific and non-scientific startups, there is a huge difference. So if you want to start a tea shop, we can open it next day. But is a scientific startup, is it possible? No, there are numerous steps. For example, if you want to develop a drug and if you want to deliver that drug into the market, you have to go through numerous steps. So initially, when we started with the basic research, then we will end up with, as I already suggested, that it is end up with the publications and know-how. So again, the basic research do not have much commercial value, but it is the foundation, and based with the foundation, we have to stress on the applied research, and we have to move to the look to the societal problems and to try to solve with that sort of problems with our know-hows and technologies, and it will end in the technology patents and intellectual properties. So here is how a scientist is thinking. So first, there should be a problem for any sort of research. Any research, even though a basic research, we have some sort of problem. We will develop some sort of hypothesis, and solution we will find out with our technology ideas. Similarly, in the case of innovation also, if we are focusing, for example, if we are expert in X, Y, Z domain, so based on our expertise, we can identify some sort of problem. For example, if we are an environmental microbiologist, we can think of the waste as a problem. If we are think of medical profession, then diseases is a problem. If you are good in pharma, we can think of different diseases and its treatment as a problem. So the problem is linked with the solution, and where the technologies is very relevant in this case. So for example, if I am a scientist who is developing a prosthetic limb, here the problem is the man without a limb. My offering is I will develop with my knowledge and with my technology the artificial limb and make these people move in and around. So another problem is if you are a little bit of engineering background, if you are knowing the difficulties in the rural and remote places of the transport, there is no fuel, alternate fuel is available. So this guy is just assembling, visualizing that problem and finding a solution as a small cycle rickshaw with is running in solar power. So he's just assembling his knowledge or technology and finding and come out with a small outcome of a cycle rickshaw. So here again, some of the environmental microbiologists or filtration technologists who come up with a purified or drinking water solution for this. So everywhere there is a problem. First problem is the man without a limb. Second problem is the fuel solutions for a remote area. And the third one is the drinking water. So here, the man is, these people are offering whatever the knowledge or technology ideas they have and developing some sort of the solution for the local problems. So here it is again, this is just to solve the transportation problem in especially UP, Bihar, and all this common. And in the case of very remote, the small innovations which you can make the livelihood of the rural people into very well. So this is again, they are always thinking of the problem and finding the solutions and the technologies. Here, this sort of innovations is generally called as a frugal innovations or jugaad innovations. So these innovations are very relevant to India because it is focusing on the problems of a small communities in and around the different regions, scattered different regions. So again, coming to the innovation part, when there is a requirement of a novel solutions, and if the problem is existing or a novel with your idea and with your invention, you are creating the new set of instruments, new set of parameters. This sort of thing is coming under innovations. Innovations may be either scientific innovations or non-scientific innovations. For example, if you see a SIP, it is one of the multi-billion-dollar sales product in the market, but you cannot see any scientific data inside that one. Do you find any equation for the operation of SIP? No, it is, but it is having a multi-million-dollar sales in and around globe. So when a invention happen with the inside of the science, such invention is called a scientific invention. So we are researchers here. So we should come out with the scientific inventions and which is backed by hardcore science. So whatever the basic science we are having, we should use that thoroughly to find some sort of the problems in the society, and we should come out with these scientific solutions, and we will end up with the patent IPs and other technologies. So, as a scientist, is it necessary to have a startups or roll in and out with startup? No, it is not necessary. So once you find out a particular innovative idea or innovative solution to the burning problems of the society, there are multiple options. You can continue with your research, you can continue with your again doing with this new sort of problem and identifying some solutions for the next round. So existing technology you can spin off to existing companies like a big Jane's pharma company or other companies, so that you may get revenue out of it. Again, that money you can rotate back into your own business. So all what we are expecting through the incubators or different programs and schemes run by the various government of either India or state government. So what we are expecting is some part of the research can be converted into the translation sort of things, and which can lead to the discoveries and invention and innovation for some sort of burning problems in the society. If at least 1 or 2% of the people are coming forward with this sort of activities, then it will solve a lot of problems. So the asset outcome of your research should be focused on intellectual rather than on the publications. Then try to come out with this patent, copyright, occasionally trademarks. Then many of these, during your research, you may come with this novel know-hows. Know-hows is the knowledge which can be useful to improve the products, process, and services in the existing market. So whenever you are stuck with some sort of know-hows, that also you can be utilized in the commercial manner. And you have to file your patent, and the inventor right should be always taken into consideration. Whenever you are disclosing your novelty sort of things, the agreements should be executed like NDAs and CDA. So once you are right to continue with your own research sort of things, then you can license your technology. Once your IP is in your hand, you can license your technology, and you can go back to research and do new innovations and so on and so forth. So during your research and development, you come out with some sort of patent. For example, during your cancer research, you find one molecule is very attractive and it is acting against your cancer. So during the product commercialization, we should do the FTO studies, that is freedom to operate studies. For example, once you get a molecule out of your research and you think that it is very novel for you, and all this process of the drug development is with you, but you have to make it thorough that you are not going to infringing into others' property or others' IP. So FTO studies is very important. For example, here the patent 1, 2, and 3 is belong with you, and you develop it with your know-how. So if somebody else, for example, if say patent 6 and patent 4 are there by somebody else, and it is infringing some part of that your patent, so you cannot commercialize your product. So you have to take the license or agreement between the patent 6 and nearby the patent 4 to get commercialized of the sort. So these all are very simple things. So once you are focusing on any translational research, then all these companies who is owning this 4 and 6, they are very cooperative and they are ready to share with a nominal fees or charges. So whenever the beauty of the scientific startups are they are having always the intangible assets like IPs. So these are some of the burning examples which is developed by the Indian students or researchers with the support of DBT BIRAC funds. So So many of these diagnostics solutions available globally are not accessible to India, either because it is of a huge capital investment is required, or the technician is required, or the population which is covered during the research is not from the Indian side. So customization of all these products and development of the new technologies is very necessary for Indian population. So once you develop with some sort of product, so if you want to start your own business, if you want to take your own money, then how you will go ahead? So once your technology is out, it is like a sugar piece. So where sugar is there, then too many ants will come. So similarly, here, before offering your set of things, you have to very thorough with many sort of things, because the scientists are not very common with business terminology, business idea development, marketing, and other strategic things required to run a business. So the first thing is you should be very clear with what you are offering. For example, if you develop a drug, what is my offering? Is it a crude drug, or it is a technology, is it, or anything else? So you should be very clear that some products or visualized product with some activity should be offered as a drug. So if you are offering some services, you should be very clear that what service you are offering. So society will never accept any sort of technology. So for example, if you consider the failure of Nokia, so once upon a time, it was very superior in their technology, but they offer. Society will rejected that one. What is the reason? Because the technology is not what required. The customer require their own things. So our offering should be based on that. Then what is your business plan? How you are going to moving out with your business? Then do you have FTO for your own IPs? If any of that your IPs is infringing with others, then what is the unique selling point of your product? And how big is your market? For example, if you are going to develop a drug for rare genetic diseases, your crowd or target will be a maximum 1 million people. If you are going to develop a drug or a product for a burning solution like a cancer or diabetes, it is a huge crowd is waiting for to purchase your product. So the crowd size or market size is always important. And understanding the competitors is very important, who are there already existing in the market and who is coming to compete with you. That is, understanding is very important. And the purchase decision power, for example, in the case of stud market, the patient is not determining the decision. The doctors decide you have to insert one stud. So decision power is purchase decision, and who will pay for and how much they will pay. So what is your offering? All these things are some of the basic things to do with your business. So whenever you are making some sort of business, the first thing you have to do is believe in your own idea. Nobody else is going to come to believe your idea unless and until you believe. So first thing and important thing in the business is, if you believe in your idea, then only the wonders will work. Then there is nothing like a perfect business. Every business can be modified into perfect business models. And whenever your business, if you offer like a painkillers, for example, if you went to consult one doctor and doctor suggested that this disease will, this pain will remove if you take one set of painkillers, and it will remove after 15 days if you take XYZ vitamins. Which one you will select? The painkiller. Similarly, like this, your business offering should be like these painkillers. You should always address the burning problems of the society, and the customers should be dying to buy your product. Like when Apple is launching some new product, they will be in long queue because the customers are dying to grab that particular product. So it should be like that. So whenever the scientific startup is having some sort of IP, it is like making money when you are sleeping. So if you should grab your IP with you, then you can make money out when you are sleeping. So always take the business model where the customer pay you in advance. And always the cash is, many of the startups is having the problem of cash rotation. When the cash is not flowing back into your startup, then your business is going to die. So always try to make your business in a sustainable model, always you should have some controls on your raw materials and the products. Then, and again, finally, the investors' prospective or financial investment, you should always have the clarity wherever and whenever you are taking the equity sharing and getting the investments. So this is, I think, a scientific people is having a little bit difficult to understand this business problem. So this is nothing. It is just the scientific discovery is only one part, and the second part is you have to offer that scientific part of your invention to the society. Then only it will come into existence. So who can start a business? So anybody who have this majority of solve this problem solver, this is you, then passionate and determined. These are some of the quality which is required to make a startup. Then how we can structure a business? So here at initial stage, we found that to start a tea shop, it is very simple. Just generate idea, just gather the things together, get a legal permission, and start offering your tea next day. So in a scientific startup, we require a further more things. First, ideation. We should require a good idea. We should visualize the current burning problems in the society and generate our own idea based on the scientific things, the conceptualization of the idea, the proof of concept studies. These include the market review and all these things. Once the concept study is started, it is very essential that study, it is called a proof of concept. In this proof of concept, we will clarify all the angles of a product development. It includes the basic scientific search, it includes the basic market research, it includes the basic product development, it includes the commitments with these regulatory authorities and all others. So once this you have to done and you have to optimize your product process, then you can come to the next stage of risk assessment. If I am investing 10 rupees to develop this product, if it is ending up with a product of 1 million, then your business simple equations you can calculate, incorporate in that one. And if you find something profitable, then you can go ahead. If you are investing 1 million in this one and getting only 100 rupees, then it is going to. So simple equation you have to find the basic risk assessment. Then once if you are confident with your scientific output, a product, a process, or a service, then you can go ahead to the startup phase. Startup phase is nothing. It is just you are getting a legal position in the society. You are registered as the company incorporated in under MCA, and some of you become CEOs and managing directors or board of directors in that company. So your status will be also change. Your accreditation will change in the startup phases. And in the startup phases, in the scientific startup, from the lab scale testing, it will go a little bit beyond a little bit of market study, then a little bit of data generation, the technology processing, getting IPs in the company's name, and all these things will happen. And in development stage, we will go a wide area clinical studies, validation studies, then process scale up. And then the final stage is the commercialization and expansion. You are hitting to the market with your full potential and you are grabbing the money out of the market. So is this possible as a researcher? So there are so many things happened. From your research idea, you come out with some sort of IP, and this is the startup pathway. So is it possible for a researcher like you to go ahead and start a startup? Is it possible? Yes. So there are various mechanisms in and around you who can stimulate your growth as an entrepreneur or as a technology developer. So incubators are one of the leading houses which can stimulate you and forward you and help you in all aspects. So in coming 1 or 2 slides, I will just speak a little bit about the importance of incubator. So first you can see the baby to a mature man or an old man. The growth of any venture or any company is like that. It's starting from one business idea, then you are launching that in the market and you are growing that as a very mature man. So in the initial stage, the incubator is having a very important role. Do you know what is incubator? Everybody heard of, I think, biotechnology, at least heard of BOD incubator. Isn't it? Is that incubator same with this incubator? What BOD incubator is doing? It is just providing whatever the things necessary for a bacteria or a culture to grow. And similarly, here the culture is your business idea. The incubator will support with all angles of support. It include all these service providers, funding, then mentoring, then valuation. It will handhold you in and around with all the things you require. For example, for example, if you talk to the scientists, then they are very, very keen that if my product is going to stick on the market, then it is going to reap millions and millions of dollars. But it is not going to like that. So we have to visualize all the angles and all the parameters of the market before hitting the market. So what an incubator is doing? The first one is whenever you are having identified a particular problems to work with, we will find out you the research funding. And when you develop a technology idea, the incubator can support you with the proof of concept funding. So whenever you are clear with your proof of concept, then the scale up funding will be there. Then whenever you stick to the market, then angels and ventures will, through the incubators, will come forward to help you. And during the expansion stage, the expansion phase money will be available for you. So the incubator is a core support provider with all these activities. So it is having whatever the things required for a researcher to develop a technology and transfer that technology or commercialize that technology into the market. So it is having all this set. Whenever you are doing the research, you require the research infrastructure, research expertise, and eminent scientists to support you. You have to discuss with these various clinicians, doctors, then market people, all these things that will happen in this incubator. So once, again, the proof of concept study, so the mentoring is one of the important aspects. So here the difference in academic and incubator culture is different. So whenever you are associated with one guide in your research organization, you are going to share all these intellectuals with that scientist. So here, when you associated with the incubator, all the intellectuals will remain with you, and you get all the support whatever is required. For example, you require a scientific advice. The scientific advice as a mentor you can acquire, and you can get it done. So whatever the idea or inventors aim to come out with that idea or generate the IPs, that will be remain with that inventor itself. Here, there is no need of sharing your IPs with anybody. Okay, so again, in the incubator, we are having dedicated teams of mentors, patent professionals, then service providers like a CA, CS, legal professionals, regulatory experts, then mentors, then grant supporters, then risk finance assistants. So all these things, starting from finance, advice, mentoring, scientific knowledge, then trials and regulatory clearances, legal, and incorporation of the company, CS, CA, finance, everything will be associated with the incubator. So only thing required, you have to walk into any incubator with your own idea, and you can come out with a product. Why the incubator is there? Because the incubator's main focus is to cross you the value of death. Value of the death is where every company is stuck with or is going to die, where the cash flow is in negative side. So coming to the finance is very essential for any research to go ahead with. As I say, the incubator, for example, idea stage, there are various research grants from the government of India as well as the state government is there to support you with some sort of basic idea. So whenever you are having idea, please visit us and discuss your idea so that we can find some sort of fundings for you. When there is a proof of concept, one of the good proof of concept fund is the BIRAC DBT BIRAC BIG grant. So proof of concept fund is available. Then seed fund is available for particular XYZ experiment. Then early stage for fundings are there. If you are a legal structure, then that time the angels will be there, or in-house corpus funds will be there too. And commercial, the ventures will be there. And now from 2012 onwards, there is numerous government of India as well as the state government policy supported funds are pumping into the innovation sides, and it is pumping into your own hands, not to any of the organization. If some of the government funds, previous times, if you think of, it will come through some sort of proper channels. Now it is diverted, it can directly come and stick to you. So how much money a Indian startup require to start? For example, if you require the proof of concept, many of the proof of concept can be clear within the 15 lakhs, and product development or prototype development, it require up to 50 lakhs. And if we are into early stage pitching into the market, then if life science company require at least 2 crores, and for the expansion, maybe up to 20 crores. So from where this money come? So there are 3 supporters in previous time before the government enter into this field. So that is VC is venture capitalists, second one is angels, and the fourth FC is family, friends, and fools, and the fourth one is father-in-law who are very supportive. Okay. Others, after this, the government enter with various schemes and supportings. The SIBRI is one of them, DSIR is one of them, CSIR, MNRE, and so many government funding agencies are there. And many of the students like you, the funds are grabbed by from the BIG, BIPP, SPARSH, and all these things. So if you are having some sort of idea about the burning problems of the society, you can find a fund from this. BIG is currently open. In January 1st it opened, and to February 15 it closed. So this is one of the important grants which is grabbing by many students in IITs and other academic organizations. So we encourage you people to come out with some sort of problem in the society and try to find out some sort of solution out of that one. Many of the faculty in School of Life Science is having this big grant, and many faculties from MIT is having. And so we are already having a good number of big grantees here. And it is not necessary that it should be a faculty, it should be a student. Students can apply for these patents, and there is no discrimination like if only a faculty is there, then only you will get the fund. So this big grant is to just support the proof of concept. So if any idea there with a potential of commercialization, then you will get that one. And it is just to validate the proof of concept. And why the government is encouraging this one is, rather than the job seekers, you have to move out and provide job providers. So there are 2 categories. So first one is if it is a company, existing company, then you should be less than 3 years. But as a students or entrepreneurs, you can, anybody from the research academia or industry or individual, anybody can apply. And if they are individual, they can incubate through an incubator. So what all things are big BIG, DBT, BIRAC, BIG supported? It is if it is a high level innovative and your project is a proof of concept and the finance required for that study is less than 50 lakhs, then the BIRAC will step in and support you. So your studies should be, these are the few things very necessarily the big will apply. They will scrutinize. First things, if you submitted any research proposal, they will reject it. It should be a proof of concept, and it should be a little bit translational, and something should be coming out as a technology. And there should be a limited novelty should be there. If nowadays there is a screening is little bit changed also. If novelty is not there, and if you can scale up something or scale down something for the Indian population or Indian customization for the Indian population, that time also it is acceptable. Then whichever the technology or whichever the project you are highlighting, it should have some sort of feasibility. For example, if you say, I will take the water out of this atmosphere, like that project, they will reject prima facie. But if it is technically supported, for example, I will generate water out of this with this membrane cooling technology, and the moisture will grabs and it will convert into water. So if it is explained like that, then there is a chance of getting that sort of fund. So if you are holding some sort of IP, then your IP should be free of FTO. Then the next indicator they will evaluate is the PI's commitment for the commercialization of the product. Commercialization, either a direct conversion into entrepreneurship, or you can just spin off this technology. Then credibility of the team and goals, whatever you are mentioned in the 18 months should be achievable. So this is a milestone-based project, and it should be all this whatever mentioning in your project should be on milestones, and within 18 months you have to mention, you have to fulfill all these milestones. And during this finance, you have to pitch with the different heads. What all are the heads you are going to expend with this money? And the domains or area which is supporting is health and medical, then agriculture, then industry, and others. So beside this, there are these are the flow chart. So it will open the application. Then you have to apply within February 15th. Then they will scrutinize. Then preliminary screening, these regional stations will do. Then they will inform, and you have to get to the BIRAC, and the BIRAC will finalize this. Other than this, there are numerous schemes by the government, central government, and the state government, which is supporting this one. It is included some NSTDB, and there are multiple sectoral support is available there. So coming to this bioincubator, so this is a new initiative with the support of Government of Karnataka and Manipal Academy of Higher Education. So we are focusing on 5 different sectors, that is biomedical, biotech, dental, molecular, and biopharma. So whenever you people are having some sort of idea, then you can freely come to us, discuss your idea, and let us see if we can convert your idea into a commercial product, IP, technology, or any other intellectuals. So thank you. No questions. Now anybody started interested in doing business? No, still a lot of things are there now. Any questions? No. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'm sure all of us now have a good insight into the field of entrepreneurship. I would like to invite Dr. Rajiv Biswas, Assistant Professor from Tezpur University, to kindly present a memento of appreciation to Dr. Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I remain all of you to kindly be seated for an announcement. We have the lunch break now. Also, the posters from the activity hour have been put up upstairs on the boards. I request all of you to kindly go and vote for your favorite poster through a link being